We got a special set of guests here today. We're going to talk about a few things, but we're going to be talking to BACA in a few seconds. That's Bikers Against Child Abuse. They are a fabulous club. We've done a lot of work with them in the past, and we plan on doing it in the future as well. BACA is a great group. I wanted to talk to them today and to find out a little bit more about what they do, when they do it, how they do it. So we're going to start with the president, and Ronan's here to help us out. So Ronan, come over here. Let them see your logo on the back for a second. Turn around there so they can see what the BACA logo looks like. Now, if you're riding around, you see these guys, make sure you give them a nice wave welcome or whatever. Right. They do a great job on the road, and a great bunch of guys. So start off with telling me about BACA and what it's all about, and just the basics. Let's start there.
Sure. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be in front of your viewers. BACA was started back in 1995 and it was started by a child play therapist who was dealing with a licensed child play therapist who was dealing with an abused child, and the child kept going up on happiness level and then down and then up and down, and he couldn't figure out why, because the child was, when he left the therapy session, he was having issues. So this child play therapist also rode a motorcycle, and he said, I wonder if I got my buddies together, whether or not we would be able to ride into this therapy session and what the kids' reaction would be. And they did, and it was so positive. And long story short, that was the kernel of the idea that generated BACA.
Sure.
And that happened back in Provo, Utah, like I said, back in 1995. So we're going on about 29 years now.
Wow.
And we're in 49 states, multiple chapters in states, and we're also in 18 countries around the world. So we're an international organization. We're a 501c3.
Okay, tell me about the mission of what you really are going forward with. What is the chapter really doing?
Okay, we're here in the community because what we like to do is we focus in on what our mission statement is. And our mission statement is a little bit lengthier, but the core of it is we empower abused children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. And how do we do that? We show up for these kids. You have to remember that an abused child, whether it be physical abuse or sexual abuse or whatever it might be, has taken choices, had choices taken away from them, right? So they don't know what it is to feel part of something because they've been kind of removed from that and they're scared, they're living scared. And so what we do is, based upon the child's desire to want to have BACA in their lives, we bring that child into our family, and part of that is providing them with a vest, right? It's a denim vest, but they get to choose the patch, they get to choose their road name, and their road names are pretty funny sometimes. Head Smasher, and it's just all kinds of fun things, Pinky, and so it's a lot of fun for the kids. They get so excited when we roll up on what we call a level 1. And a level 1 is where we make that ceremony where we bring them into the family. They actually get a chance to come outside. They see us roll up. Their faces glow. And the next thing you know, we get around them and we present them with the things that make them part of the BACA family. And then I become their big brother. Salty, for example, my sister over here, she becomes their big sister. And we handle both boys and girls, anywhere from the ages of 3 at the earliest age, which is just horrifying to think about, all the way up to 18 when they age out and they're of legal emancipation age. Sure. Right. So, but that's what we do. So the community recognizes us now as doing something really positive in the area, and we handle about four counties in here. We have the Horry and Georgetown and Florence and Marion counties, and a little bit of Darlington actually. So it's got us pretty busy.
It's a big area to cover. Absolutely.
It is, yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's a mission where we're all volunteers. We don't get paid a dime for this. We just do it because if it's not us, who's it going to be that steps up and help these kids?
So you have to care. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's an old saying that goes, you never stand so tall as when you stoop to help a child. That's true here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned Salty.
Yes.
And she's right here. Salty, come over and she could talk to us over here.
Come
Here
on,
she is.
Salty.
She is the famous BACA representative here. She's here to help us with our interview today. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Now some of the experiences that you've had, what are some of the highlights of doing what you do that you can maybe share with us now?
Well, we can't share too much.
I understand that.
But what I think the best thing is when you do this, you empower these children, and what you get back from it is just probably so much more. You empower them, and you yourself are empowered by this, and it's just an amazing feeling to walk away and know that you've helped them. And actually, you've really helped yourself too in the long run.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I
You
hear
really walk away with something good.
You go into. I hear you go into court sometimes.
We do.
You actually go into the homes sometimes.
We do.
Is that correct?
Yes, that's
I mean,
correct.
is there other places that you meeting places? I guess you do this on occasion.
It's what the child
Yeah.
wants. If the
Okay.
child wants to meet us in a park, we'll meet in the park.
Sure,
if the child
sure.
wants to meet us in the security of their home, we'll meet them there. When it comes to court, we follow these children all the way through to their court dates, so that they have the ability to testify in front of the perp, right? And we give them that courage. We actually surround them in the courtroom, literally surround them, so that they don't feel as though anybody can get to them. Sometimes the judges allow us to wear our cuts, and other times they don't. But that doesn't mean we're not there for the kid, right? And at the end of the day, that child is able to get up, testify, tell their truth, and walk away with such empowerment, regardless of which way the court case goes, because not all court cases work out in a total conviction or a conviction, but many do,
Right.
because the testimony is that compelling as is the evidence.
I guess it must be challenging because you're dealing with the parent in most of these cases.
In some of these
Yeah,
cases,
some of
correct.
them.
Some of them, okay.
Otherwise it's potentially a relative. Sometimes it's a neighbor. It's all over the place.
So it almost doesn't matter if who's really involved with it. It's really just protection of the children,
Child,
and that's what it's all about. Absolutely.
You want that child to not live in fear. So that you don't want them walking into the courtroom and being petrified. You want them
Absolutely.
confident to be able to walk up to the stand and testify.
How do you get notified from through the children? Is it other professional people that actually contact you as a group?
The professional community knows about us. That's called awareness. And Salty is actually our event coordinator, and she's also now acting as our agency liaison. So her efforts are such that we get the word out to like DSS, law enforcement, different therapy organizations, counseling organizations, the schools, whatever it might be, so that they can take one of those pamphlets, right, a trifold we call it, and hand it to the parent or guardian. And then the parent or guardian is responsible for contacting the hotline that's on the back of the flyer.
We have those in our store.
I know you do, and
Make
we
sure
appreciate
you
that.
give us extra, because I think a few of them are already left.
Yeah,
So in case
yeah.
you need or know about it, but
Yeah.
that's cool.
And as a matter of fact, not only do we have these in English, but we have them in Espanol as well. As a matter of fact, we have several members within our group that fluently speak Spanish.
How good are you with your Spanish?
I'm horrible with it.
Okay.
That's
How
why I
about
have
you,
other
Salty?
members.
I can
You're
sign,
fluent. You can sign
like
language.
make believe.
Oh,
Right.
It works well. Trust me, it works well.
Nobody knows.
I've got one finger that works really well for me.
Yeah, really.
But besides that, that's about all I know about signing. So
Yeah.
I got you on that.
So once it gets out there, Jamie, and we work in the community, then like I said, the parent or guardian contacts us on our hotline, and then we determine whether or not that child is a good fit for BACA. We make an initial visit to that child's home or park or wherever it is to meet the child with the guardian or the parent at that time, and we do an assessment of each other. The child has to, there's some criteria. The child has to be living in fear. The child has to have had a reported case to law enforcement or to a social service, but it has to be a reported case, and the perp cannot be living in the house for obvious reasons, because you would just be, not getting anywhere. You'd be banging your head against the wall. Right? So those three criteria are met, then that child is a suitable fit for BACA if that child wants. We never want to force
Of course,
the
of course.
BACA relationship on the child. It's just not cool. So once the child says, yes, I'd like to have you here, then we arrange for that level 1, that ceremony that I mentioned before,
Sure.
where we bring
Yeah.
the child into the family.
Yeah. It must be a challenge if the person that's involved is a parent or something, and in trying to get that. Sometimes you don't have that separation just yet for the child. Is that generally true in some cases?
Well, it's
Or you don't get get involved until there is a separation.
Well, it's if the perp is the parent, is that what you're talking about?
Yes, that's my
Right,
implication.
okay. Yeah,
And I'm
right.
sorry if that's an implication that's.
Yeah, no, and it can
generic,
be. I
yeah.
mean, and it happens way too often,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So that child might be looking for a father figure or a mother figure, and that's why we have women in our group.
Mhm.
Women are full patch members in BACA because they bring a certain aspect, that nourishing, nurturing aspect to a relationship where, let's say, a male was the perpetrator.
Sure.
Okay,
Mhm.
the child might rely more on the woman
Sure.
in our group, right?
Mhm.
Vice versa, because there are female perps, right? And the child then might say, "I need the protection of a man."
Sure.
Okay, and that's what we do. We step in
Absolutely.
regarding, or the child doesn't have that kind of anxiety and is welcoming to everybody.
Mhm.
Okay, and that's what we work towards. We want them to understand we're their big brothers and sisters.
Mhm.
They don't have to worry about anything, and they can call us at 3 in the morning if
Mhm.
they want to, because each child is assigned 2 primary contacts.
Gotcha.
They can be 2 males, 2 females, and at any time, if that child is scared, they can call up, and we can kind of walk them off the edge and say, okay, what, you just having a nightmare? Okay, no problem.
Mhm.
Wait a minute, somebody's at your door. I need you to call 911.
Right, right.
I'm going to call 911. I'll see you shortly.
Right,
And we
right,
get to
right.
those kids and we protect those kids.
Wow,
And we
yeah.
will show up regardless of the time of night, and we will post ourselves around that child's property
Mhm.
so that that child can go back to sleep.
So you probably have more than one member that'll show up with you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we make sure we travel in force. Wink, wink.
That's why. Now you mentioned cut. Now, just in case people are not necessarily understanding the word cut, this
Yeah.
actually refers to their vest, and their vest that's all decorated with the cut with their logo on the back. Show them again the back of the logo.
Yeah,
there.
why don't you
There we
show
go.
us? There you go.
That's one of many that.
Right.
So, and she's proudly supporting it here. So.
Very proudly.
We are, we're here to make sure that you guys are familiar and aware of these guys being out there on the road, and they're out there for a reason and with a cause, and a fabulous cause it is for sure. So, tell me something about maybe let's talk about fundraising for a little bit.
Sure.
We've done some work with you in the past, and we plan on doing some in the future. But where does the money go that you actually were able to put together?
Every penny of the money that's raised on our behalf, whether we're doing the fundraising event or at the generosity of your organization, you're doing it for us. Every cent of that goes towards child therapy. So if a family can't afford a therapist, or they need some supplies, and I'm not talking about food supplies, I'm talking about like therapy supplies, whether it be equestrian therapy or whether out in the woods kind of therapy, whatever it might be. If they don't have the funds to do that, we'll pony up the money for them. So again, we're all volunteers. Nobody takes the time, not even to put gas in our tanks.
Gotcha.
We're just very strict
Gotcha.
about that, and so we rely on the good graces of the organizations like Jamin Leather, for example, who holds an event for us twice a year during Bike Week down here, and that ride that we take, which is based out of here, and then we wind up back here with your auction, which is great because we get those proceeds coming to us as well, and we really appreciate that, man. But it gets us out for awareness, because that's the other thing that Salty and I really work on, is making sure the community is aware of what we're doing, and these fundraising events, they play right into that.
Yeah, and it shows their colors, and that's what the logo is on the back, is their colors, and it shows around town that they're out and about, and having them here during Bike Week. The majority of bikers, I should say, virtually all bikers that I'm aware of, are great people, and a lot of them come and stay at our store. So for those of you, so it leads me to a question like,
Sure.
does the child who's young that doesn't understand what bikers and community of bikers are, when you might see all this negativity on TV and movies and stuff, does that come into play sometimes with the kids?
Not really, because the stereotypes those stereotypes really come from their parents down to them, okay? But once we meet them in that initial visit, they understand that we're only in this for the kids' benefit, right?
Yeah.
So, and what kid doesn't like loud, noisy bikes riding up for them, right? Because this is specifically for them. They stand out there so proud. The neighbors are looking around, and these guys are here for me.
Absolutely.
And so they love that. Nice shiny motorcycles, loud noises, and again, we work with law enforcement, so they know we're rolling into this child's location.
And
right?
they all want to ride.
Yeah.
Oh, they
wanna-
do. They all
do.
want to ride.
Can I get on the
They
back?
can't all ride, but if they're
They're
age
too little?
appropriate,
Yeah.
I'll take them for a little
They'll
spin.
still ask, I'm
Yeah.
Oh,
sure.
they
Yeah,
will.
oh, they
Oh,
will.
absolutely. Yeah, you hate
They
to say
will.
no, right? Yeah.
They will.
So Salty, tell me what the best part of this club is that you can share with us.
Well, one is I have a family.
Mhm.
My family is amazing, and I have a worldwide family, which is it's mind blowing that I can go anywhere and
She's saying the BACA family.
my
Baca,
BACA
that's what
family,
she's
my
getting at.
BACA
Baca
family.
family.
Okay,
It,
good,
it
good.
is it's amazing. I knew of BACA before I joined BACA, and I thought it was amazing then. I seen it from the outside view, looking in, which I thought was like, this is amazing. And then when I actually joined BACA, then I kind of realized what it was like to be on the inside of BACA and how it really did work. How the kids are really empowered by BACA, how just their fear is kind of let go, and their nervousness goes away, and how they're able to play as a child again, how they're not afraid to go outside and bike ride with their friends. For the child itself, that's my joy, is to see these kids look up. Instead of looking down all the time, they can actually lift their heads and be proud. You know, we kind of take that that sadness away from them. We kind of you know, that's all about the empowerment with them.
They get
And
to
I-
be a child again,
Yes,
right?
and
That's what you want.
swear, and I after their bike ride, they get off that bike, and I always say, and I always go up to them, I give them a fist bump, and I like, now you're a badass, because they are now.
Yeah.
You know,
They
we
feel
have
that way.
we
Yeah.
you know, and whether or not we didn't do that for them, we helped them do that.
Right.
And they were the ones that made that decision to get on that bike, and because they did it, they get off feeling empowered.
Sure.
So, and then they'll have us, you know,
Absolutely.
forever, basically, I think.
Some of the times when we meet these children, they are so beaten down, they can't lift their head off the ground, they're just totally shut in. And once we warm up to them, and they warm up to us a little bit, and they decide that they're gonna sit on the bike, and then, oh yeah, let's go for a ride. If I could can that smile and
Yes.
sell it, I'd be a multimillionaire. I'm telling you, it's wild.
I know, I think that is one of the most fun things of the whole entire process, is to get these kids on that bike, even if they don't ride, to sit on it.
Right.
I mean, some of them are so little, they just want to, you know, ring bells and press all the buttons, and they're
That's
going
okay.
from running from bike to bike to bike, and just to see them running and having fun and laughing and just making noise, that alone is a treasure.
They get to be a kid.
Well, tell me about membership to get new members. Tell me about what the requirements are for them to participate or be part of what you do. Why don't you share us with that?
Well, you never have enough members, and when I say that, it's because the problem is so pervasive, right? I really wish that we could work ourselves out of this organization, right? But there's a need for it. It's a big need. So yeah, we need members all the time. There's just a couple of criteria. It's you need to be at least 18 years old, have access to a motorcycle, be able to pass a background check. Now that doesn't mean, which is an FBI background check, it doesn't mean that you can't have ever had a record for, it doesn't even bother me if it's even like a small burglary or something like that when you were a kid. It's no violence against women and children. That will not stand in this organization for obvious reasons, right?
Yeah.
But everybody, no, I'll say everybody, but a lot of us have run afoul of the law. You know, no murders, no heavy felonies. But those are the kind of, right?
I tried.
know, right? Yeah, you can't do it, right?
No, can't.
So,
Too many people know.
right. So, and you can't have had arresting authority.
Right.
In other words, because of where we play and operate, we're not allowed to have existing police officers, former police officers, military
Absolutely,
police,
that makes sense.
nobody with arresting authority, right?
Sure.
And other than that, if you can meet those requirements, I would encourage anybody who's interested after seeing this, or if they've been on the fence about BACA, to come to one of our meetings, which are held on the second Sunday of every month. The next one will be on the 14th at the VFW Hall up in, or down in Myrtle's Inlet,
Okay.
and 10 a.m.
We're definitely going to be able to put their website, as well as a Facebook. You have a Facebook?
There's
as
a
well?
Facebook page,
And-
but that's the international page.
Okay, then you have a locals page as well?
No, I don't,
Okay,
because
you're gonna have
we,
it eventually.
because the fact is, we let international, because we're so protective
Right,
of our logo.
Okay.
Because the logo, the patch,
Right.
is recognized by so many children that it can't get polluted, it can't get diluted. It's got to be what it is, and we
Sure.
can't have everybody out there with it. And that's why you and I have exchanged those things in the past,
Yeah.
putting the logos on, right?
Making
Because
sure it's correct, yeah.
the last thing you want is a child falling for a fake patch.
Right, right.
Because any child in that's a BACA kid, if they see this patch, they know that they can come up to me, her, whoever is wearing that patch, and they know that they're safe with us, and we'll get them to safety.
Generally, it's true that the patches wouldn't be worn in singular sense anyway. There would be more than one of you riding
Always.
together always.
Yeah,
So keep that in mind.
Most
That's
likely,
the obvious
it's
Most of the time
it's
we
like a
run
event.
two-man.
Yeah.
to prevent, for the possibility of someone, taking over or thinking that they can, overshadow what the facts are. So,
Yeah. We have what's called a two-patch rule. We always go, and when we present ourselves to a child, it's always two patches.
Gotcha.
This way, there's no, there can't be any impropriety, there can't be any finger pointing, nothing, because we each have each other as a witness.
Absolutely.
Right, because there are some families out there, or some children that are in environments where it's really sketchy, and they need to know that they can rely on both of us. Okay, any two members, they're primaries, and they can rely on the entire BACA family, both here and internationally. So you have to be able to
Absolutely.
recognize that patch. So.
I do have an event coming up that
Sure.
I'd like to announce.
Okay.
We have an event on April 6th
Okay.
at the Moose Lodge, number 1959.
Right around the corner.
Yep, on, I don't know how to say that, Bercali Road?
Burkell Road.
Bercali.
Yeah,
I say
Road.
Bercali. I
That's
used to
right.
call it Barnacle Road, but
That's
close
people
enough.
kept
That's an
correcting me.
Italian
Yeah,
in you.
people were correcting me. But it's from 2 to 6 on that Saturday, and the rain date is the following day. It is an event open to everyone. My idea to this event was basically to have as many kids to come as possible, and this day they get to make their choices. They're getting free food items for lunch. They'll be getting a free ice cream from Mr. Softy. They'll be able to pick out whatever they want to drink. They'll be able to play whatever games they want to play. They can go on a bouncy house if they want. They can go down the slide if they want. They can listen to music if they want. They can run around if they want. This is kind of like their day. But it also is an event that it opens up the whole month for April Child Abuse Awareness Month.
Okay.
And,
Absolutely.
and we're doing the denim thing.
We are doing, yes, we did add into a denim drive. So it's a drive for denim blue, we prefer blue, denim jackets or denim vests. And we are
Sleeve or
accepting,
sleeveless,
yeah,
right,
sleeve
yeah.
or sleeveless.
Sure.
And those are the vests that we give to kids. And
Right.
that's where they pick out their road names and everything, and that's
Sure.
what the kids get. So that's, we need them to give to the children.
Right.
Yeah.
So we ask for donated ones, gently used ones. So there's gonna be a box set up all month at the Moose Lodge, number 1959, and you can bring them by there and just put them in that box. All month.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So when this video is over, obviously they're going to want to know. So basically, who do they get in touch with for any additional information? Because this may play over and over and over again, way past that date.
Sure.
So I just want to share that
Okay.
with everybody. How are they going to get in touch with you
Okay.
first initially?
You can reach out via email to president at PD, letter P, D, as in David, hyphen SC for South Carolina, .bacaworld.org.
Okay, I'm going to make sure that's printed at the bottom
Right.
of the next video,
Right.
the edited one.
That'll come to me.
Yeah.
I typically answer all those
Sure.
requests if people have interest in joining or just have follow-up questions. Yeah.
That's very good. That's very good. Now, you had not just the one event that you talked about. We have other events. We got the fundraiser coming
Yeah,
up
that's right.
that we do. We
Fundraiser,
do
yeah.
with BACA.
Jam and
So
Jam.
That's
why
the
don't you-
following month.
That's in May. It's during Bike Week, and this is going to be on Thursday of Bike Week. We do it usually Thursday or Saturday during Bike Week, whether the spring or the fall. So you have to check the mbeventguide.com website, and you'll get those exact dates for our future as well as our current. So obviously, we're going to be doing the Thursday for this
Thursday,
bike
the
week,
16th,
which
right.
is the 16th. So you know there. So
Right.
tell us about what you're planning on doing then.
So, as we've done in the past, which
Mhm.
always works out great,
Mhm.
Jamie is kind enough to set up an opportunity for us to sign up and get the public to come ride with us and sign up. And then we take the folks on a little ride. It's an awareness ride. We
Mhm.
stop and have a little bite to eat or a drink, a beverage,
Mhm.
and then we get back on the road and we wind up back here.
Mhm.
It's 10 o'clock registration, 11 o'clock kickstands up.
Mhm.
So make sure you know that. You can come early if you want and hang out, but don't come late because we won't be here.
And
You'll
then
miss out on all the good
auction,
stuff.
you're doing the auction in the morning part, and then when we come back,
we probably
right?
will do it both. It depends
Both.
on the attendance
Yeah,
at the time.
sure,
but usually,
sure.
whatever works. It's fun to do it. You know,
Mhm.
we'll do.
It is
we
a
have
lot of fun.
It's a leather auction,
It
and
is
if
a lot
and if
of fun.
anything else above and beyond the leather products that we bring out, if any of the members want to bring in stuff that we
Right,
can auction
yeah.
up as well,
Sure.
I want to do that as well, and hopefully we can raise some
Oh.
good money.
Yep,
so
yeah, fine.
don't
Oh, that's
don't
a good
forget
idea.
we can add yes.
Yeah.
Yes, guys, call some of your friends at other businesses
I
and
got
say, hey,
you.
give me
I
this
got
stuff.
a leather jacket at home I could bring in.
Yeah.
Sure, why not? You know, and then we'll auction that off and hopefully raise a lot more money for the event and for this wonderful charity and group that they have here.
Thank
So
you.
we really appreciate that,
Yeah.
you guys, and what you do, and what you do is amazing.
Thank
It's amazing to see these guys around and how they deal with each other. They're a bunch of silly guys, and they enjoy the kids, and I love seeing their reaction about all the things that they experience. So, well, Salty, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
It was nice to see you, and
Thank
we'll
you.
see you again. We're going to be seeing.
I
Jamin,
did
thank
notice
you,
though.
man.
I
Yes.
did notice though that it is true. You gained like 20 pounds in this.
No, more like 30 pounds. What are you
My
talking about? Look at
slimming
this.
It's like
I'm not really.
It's like-
I'm not really this big.
It's like a good 20 pounds.
Get outta
extra.
here.
Ronan, thanks
All right,
again.
thank you, man.
Okay,
Appreciate
good to
it.
see you
Thank you.
guys. Don't forget, BACA's out there waiting for you. So if you have any
Yes.
further questions, you contact Jamin Leather or the information that we'll post later on. We appreciate those guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.